Watch. Roland, Joe Benny King will punch off the ropes and counter with his own right.
First $1 million game since the famous Dempsey Tunney long count battle in Chicago 8 years before. Everyone stunned by the fury of Lewis's attack.
What's happening, my people? It's Cass Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before we get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT, Mike Mazik, Donnie Williams. Salute to everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cass Sports, The Box Storian. Today, boxing in the States, Pennsylvania. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's The Box Storian, bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. Okay, welcome to the Thursday afternoon edition of Cat Sports the Box Story. Getting up into this week of boxing history now. Boxing in the States, Pennsylvania. Got a good one for you today. Got a nice little history of boxing in Pennsylvania. And some great boxers came out of that state, man. Joe Frazier, Bernard Hopkins, Bob Montgomery, Tyrone Everett, Harry Greb, the Pittsburgh Windmill, and got some great active boxers out of there too. Jerron Boots Ennis, Stephen Fulton, Danny Garcia. I think Danny's retired now. But Pennsylvania today, okay? How's everyone? It's Thursday. The drawing for the ticket to the fight, the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight, is tomorrow. The winner will be determined tomorrow night. So you got the rest of today and all day tomorrow to get your ticket. Just $10 for a ticket. Got the block special, 3 for $25. Or you can buy a ticket and pull up at the meet and greet for $30 and you're automatically entered into the drawing. But you got to get it before tomorrow because that is it. We will know after tomorrow who won the ticket. And we will know if they can't make it or not, whether Cat Sports will be attending the fight if they can't make it. I'm the alternate. Okay. But what we got today for our highlights of boxing history, our little 2 to 2:30 history lesson is, what was the most dominant performance you ever saw by a fighter in a fight? That's what we're going to talk about for our boxing history highlight today. What was the most dominant performance you ever saw? Tell you, the best one I ever saw was this one here. When Floyd went in there, man, and just, he just from the first round, I think, damn, I can't even think who was he for. Arturo Gatti didn't answer the bell. I think he for the 7th round, but from that first round to the end of the 6th round, Floyd just like that punch there. That's what the entire fight was, man. I was feeling sorry for Gatti at the end. From like the 4th round on, I was up on my feet screaming at the TV, stop it, stop it, stop it. And to make it even worse, it was in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Gatti's hometown. So what was the most dominant performance you ever saw in your career? I mean, watching boxing. Okay, mine was that one right there, Floyd versus Arturo Gatti. That's what we're going to talk about today in our Highlights of Boxing History segment. Okay? Let's get into that. I told everybody you got to start getting here at 2 or you're going to miss it. You know? Okay. I remember we used to wait for 2:30 for Lonnie Lee. I haven't seen Lonnie Lee in a long time. I heard his work hours changed. And yeah, somebody was asking about him the other day. But he'll be back eventually. But let's talk about some dominant performances. That was the most dominant one I saw, though, Floyd and Arturo Gatti. 2000 and something. We're going to find out in a minute. But Joe Louis versus Max Baer. Okay, that was a pretty dominating one, too. One of Lewis's most formidable opponents, Baer, had a ceiling somewhere down the all-time great line, but would be a difficult puzzle for any but the very best. He was a sturdy, range-controlling presence with all-time great finishing ability and gameness to work through exchanges to find it, okay? Now, the former champion who had lost his title on a lackluster points loss the fight before, Baer had beaten stellar opponents along with a few scattered points losses, but had never been stopped before facing Joe Louis, right? This is Baer Joe Louis 2 is the one I'm talking about. Dominant. Now, Lewis shows his most fierce and ferocious knockout ability in this fight. In many fights, he controls from range with a power jab, right hand ender that puts most opponents on their back foot and allows Lewis to dominate through a mechanical pace. Against Bayer, too, he had lost to Bayer in that first fight. So in Bayer 2, Lewis was laser focused on breaking distance and ending the fight as quickly as possible. Even with the eagerness, it's a ballet of pressure fighting as Lewis beats Bayer to the punch from the opening bell and seems to create and exploit openings at will from any position, range, or angle. It's the closest Lewis comes to exploiting his gifts in a Tyson-like pressure fighting style. But he's so refined, improvisational, and fluid, it would be an insult to call it swarmy. Lewis's typical mechanical perfection, combined with rare, almost showboating aggression, is one for the ages. After bouncing Bayer around the ring in a one-sided beatdown, he finishes him with one of the most famous combinations, right? He crumbled Bayer, right? He hit him with a combination that connected like a jackhammer, okay? Yeah, that was just total domination. Joe Louis, Max Bayer 2. Okay, let's look at Floyd and Gaddy. This was the most dominant performance I ever saw. Okay, then Louis Bayer 2. Thomas Hill, hashtag JBT in the building. We talking about some of the most dominant performances ever. T. Hill. That's mine on the screen right there. That Floyd Arturo Gaddy fight back in the 2000s in Atlantic City. Yeah, I'd never seen anybody dominate anybody like Floyd did Gaddy that night. I almost felt sorry for Gaddy. I mean, everything Floyd hit him with looked like he left a mark on his face. After the fight, Gaddy was sitting on a stool. You couldn't find a spot on his face that wasn't marked up. But Joe Louis and Max Bayer was pretty bad too. That was the one we just talked about. But let's talk about Floyd and Gaddy. Most dominant fight I ever saw. Most dominant display was by pretty boy Floyd Mayweather against fan favorite Arturo Gaddy. Remember, it was in Arturo Gaddy's hometown, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Yep. That made it even worse. And all the week leading up to the fight, Floyd told Gaddy that was what he was going to do to him, but nobody believed it, not even me. Gaddy was favored, but I had Floyd pulling it out, but not like that. I thought it was going to be a competitive 12-round fight. Nobody expected Floyd to do Gaddy like that. Gaddy never been done like that before. Now, he had some tough fights with Mickey Ward, but Gaddy was also punishing Ward. Floyd Gaddy was all one-way traffic, one way. And after like the third round, Gaddy just punch output went way down because he was so worried about what was coming back at him from Floyd. Floyd was leading with both hands, countering, punching in between Gaddy's shots, just everything. It was just total domination, man. Now, to be clear, a lot of people expected Floyd to win, right? But Floyd absolutely punished Gaddy in this fight. Gaddy was a decent boxer with a good punch and a massive fighting heart. Now, the problem was, Gaddy wasn't particularly slow, but Floyd was light years faster than Gaddy. Everything worked for Floyd that night. And this was back when he still sat down on his punches. You know, pretty boy, he wasn't just trying to say hit and not get hit. he was attacking back then when he was Pretty Boy. He was on the attack because he had Roger was his trainer then. Roger was forget that hit nonsense. We're gonna punish people, right? And that's when Floyd was sitting down. Pretty Boy was sitting down on his punches, right? Pretty Boy tattoos Gaddy relentlessly, punishing every little mistake to the point where Gaddy was worried to throw anything at all. He was so worried about what was coming back, you know. Floyd never looked better. This was a masterclass of brilliant defensive yet aggressive boxing. Right? Just total domination for Floyd in that fight. Let's talk about some more dominant performances. Then around 2:30, we're going to start talking about Pennsylvania. Boxing in Pennsylvania today. Boxing in the States, Pennsylvania. Okay? But how is everybody today? It's Thursday. We almost at the end of the week. I'm talking about the beginning of the week. And we got the big one this weekend. Better be Evan Bivol. And we got the other big one tomorrow, the drawing for that ticket to the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. And that's just next weekend, right? Only 1 week from Saturday. We will know tomorrow night who's won. It might be me because if the winner can't go, I'm the alternate. I have appointed myself as the alternate. Nobody else said I was, but I'm saying I'm the alternate. The person can't go, I'm going in their place. Okay? Okay, so let's talk about some more dominant performances. Let's see here. Bear with me for a minute. I was just looking at this like 5 minutes to 2. Now I can't find what I'm looking for. 5 minutes after 2. There we go, right there. Okay. How about Muhammad Ali versus Cleveland Williams? Okay, talking about dominance. Mike Rim in the building. What's up, Mike Rim? Starting out talking about some dominating fights, Mike, and that one on the screen was the most dominant performance I ever seen. Out of a lot of dominant performances in boxing, but the way Floyd did Gaddy that night, man, was whew. I was feeling sorry for Gaddy by the end. Buddy McGirt, I was telling the referee, stop it. Telling his trainer, Buddy McGirt, stop it, man. After they let that man get beat like that for 2 extra rounds, they should have stopped about round 4. They let him take 2 more extra rounds of beating, unnecessary beating. He wasn't going to win. By the end of round 4, Gaddy had stopped throwing. He was so worried about what was coming back from Floyd. He wasn't even hardly throwing punches anymore. I don't know why the referee didn't stop it, but they let it go. Finally, at the end of 6, I think his corner stopped it. Buddy McGirt stopped it. Mercifully. Thank you. Muhammad Ali versus Cleveland Williams was Ali at his best. And at the best, Ali was nearly unhittable, okay? Ali versus Sonny Liston. Okay? He made Sonny quit on the stool. And I think I seen somewhere that somebody said Sonny was actually leading on the scorecards when the fight was stopped. So the fix had to be in. Sonny barely won a round. He didn't even win the round when Ali couldn't see because he never hit Ali. Ali was on his bicycle and that round was even. So I don't know how Sonny was ahead, but that's what I heard. Yeah. Then in the second fight, the Phantom Punch, nobody even saw the punch. The referee didn't see it. The people on the front row didn't see it. Ali or Liston didn't see it. Liston just went down. And that was the end of it. It was called the Phantom Punch fight. Yep. That was another dominating performance. Jack Dempsey versus Jess Willard was David versus Goliath, right? David won. And it was a massacre. He messed Jess Willard's face up so bad they accused Jack Dempsey of having something in his hand wraps. Yeah. He messed him up bad. Akeem Shabazz, what's happening? How are you, bro? Haven't seen you in a minute. How's everything, Akeem? Good to see you. Azim Shabazz. Let me put my glasses on. I haven't seen Azim in a while. But salute. Good to see you again, Azim Shabazz. And Azim is from Philly, I believe. That's why he's here today. Yeah, Pennsylvania today, Azim got a good one starting at 2:30. We're going to talk about your state and your city. You know, a lot of great boxers out of there. The granddaddy of them all, Smoking Joe Frazier. We got a big piece on him when we get the boxers from Pennsylvania. Yeah, we got a big piece on Smoking Joe. This is going to be good. But, you know, we got a little boxing history segment till 2:30. We just talked about dominant performances. You know, my most dominant one was that one, Floyd and Gaddy. Yeah, he just, it was bad. How about Sonny Liston versus Floyd Patterson? Both fights, right? The first fight, Sonny won was 1962. Sonny won, I think they both was in 62. Sonny won by a first round knockout. Then the second fight, he won by a first round knockout. It was like a carbon copy, right? The second fight was a full 4 seconds faster. He knocked him out 4 seconds earlier. Then almost the exact same point in both fights, man. It was just like a carbon copy of each other, like you was watching the same fight, you know? 4 seconds earlier in the second fight. Joe Louis versus Max Schmeling. Okay. The German. Their second. Yeah, Max Baer, I got it mixed up. Yeah. He fought Max Baer once. The Max Schmeling. This is the second fight. Talk about dominance. Joe Louis versus Max Schmeling 2. In the second fight, 1938, resulted in a first round TKO of Schmeling. Louis threw 41 punches, 31 of which landed. 2 only. Guess how many Schmeling threw? Schmeling threw 31. Guess how many he landed? 2. 2 punches in that first round. It only lasted through the first round. Now, you talking about dominance. Louis landed, what did I say? 41 punches. Schmeling only landed 2, right? And it wasn't because of those deep. Well, Joe Louis' offense was his defense. Perfect example of offense did being the defense. He just overwhelmed them so much offensively. Schmeling couldn't get off, right? Threw 2 punches. Yep. And after Schmeling went to the hospital, he had two cracked ribs. And guess what? This fight lasted 2 minutes. For a 2-minute fight, Schmeling spent 2 months in the hospital. So that was a month per minute. Joe Louis beat that man for 2 minutes and put him in the hospital for 2 months. Crazy, ain't it? Okay, how about this for the Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman in the infamous Rumble in the Jungle? It was more one-sided than many Ali deniers would like to admit. But Foreman said that after the fight, he never wanted to step in the ring with Ali again. Foreman didn't want no rematch. A lot of people talking about Foreman would have won the rematch. Foreman didn't even want a rematch after that. How about talk about dominance? George Foreman versus Joe Frazier. Nobody ever did Joe Frazier like that before or after, okay? It was just a terrible style matchup because, you know, Joe Frazier only had one way to go. That was forward, man. And George Foreman had a significant size and reach advantage. And Smoking Joe just had too much to go through to get inside where he liked to be against Foreman, man. He just couldn't do it. But he kept trying, kept getting up. He got up 6 times, right? And Customato had told Mike Tyson before he died, never fight George Foreman, because if you watch the Joe Frazier fight, the same thing will happen to you. But the only difference would have been he would have probably knocked Mike down like twice. Mike wouldn't have kept getting up all the time. Mike didn't have the heart Smoking Joe had. Mike wouldn't have got up 6 times. You know, after like the second knockdown, that would have been it. But Smoking Joe got up, and the referee had to stop it because no matter how many times Big George knocked Smoking Joe down, Smoking Joe was going to get up. That was just Smoking Joe Frazier. Yeah. But the 3 knockdown rule was not in effect. But after the sixth knockdown, the referee had saw enough. Okay. And Foreman versus Jerry Cooney, too. That was over in the second round. And at that point, Foreman was in his second career. Then he was 41 years old. That was, I think that was like a right cross, a left, and the old 1-2, I think. Cross uppercut. Yeah. No, 1-2 is the jab cross, but it was a 2, whatever the uppercut. What's the uppercut? 3, 2, 4. It was I think it was a cross first and then the uppercut. It was bad. Watch it, man. Joe Frazier when he knocked out Jerry Cooney. I felt that. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Very dominating fight. And then Cooney versus Foreman. Norton. He got Norton out of there in the first round. 54 seconds, okay? And the referee was slow getting there, right? Cooney had Norton sitting on the ropes with his hands down with one of the strongest punches ever, repeatedly teeing off on his head, right? And that was Norton's last fight. Manny Pacquiao versus Ricky Hatton was billed as the Battle of East and West, and Hatton was 45-1 with 32 knockouts coming into that fight. But Pacquiao knocked Hatton down twice in the first round, then knocked him out in the second. And it wasn't a TKO, knocked him unconscious. Referee Carter could have counted to like 200, okay? Knocked him unconscious. Yeah, we're just talking about some of the most dominating fights ever. Salvador Sanchez and Wilfredo Gomez, Battle of the Little Giants. But you got to give Wilfred a little credit on that one because he came up out of his weight class for that one. He was daring to be great. Wilfred was a bantamweight, and he came super bantamweight, and he came up to featherweight to challenge Salvador. And Wilfred was 40-1 coming into that fight with 30 knockouts. And Wilfred had 32 fight knockout streak. Yeah. But Sanchez dropped him in the very first round with a thunderous right to the chin, followed by a right cross left foot combination. Now Gomez got up quickly, but he was on rubbery legs, and I think he finished him like the 8th, but Gomez never really recovered from their first round knockdown. By the 6th round, both his eyes were swelling. Yeah, 8th stopped in the 8th round. His eyes were so swollen, he was having trouble seeing. Okay? But let's get ready to get to the show. We had more Manny Pacquiao, Antonio Margarita, Lennox Lewis, Andrew Galata, Lennox versus Donovan Ruddick, Mike Tyson versus Michael Spinks, the 91 second one, Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson, Holyfield versus Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. versus James Toney, Roy Jones versus Vinny Pazienza. Yeah, all very dominant affairs. Joe Calzaghe, Jeff Lacey, yeah. Dominating. Tony versus Iran Barkley. Yeah. But mine was that one on the screen, Floyd and Gaddy. Was the most dominant fight I ever saw. Crush the Legend. What's up, Crush? We were just talking about some of the most dominant fights ever. But now we're talking about your state and your city, Crush. Boxing in the States. Pennsylvania. Okay. Smoking Joe Frazier. B-Hop. Gerard Boots Ennis. Cool Boy. Danny Garcia. Yeah, some great fighters come up out of there, man. Gabe Rosada. Some good old school ones, too. Buster Drayton, Fritzy Zivic, The Great, Harry Grant, Tommy Loughlin. We're going to talk about them when we get to them, but first, let's get into it. Talk about little history highlights first of Pennsylvania. We got a couple Pennsylvanians in the chat. We got Crush the Legend, and we got Azim Shabazz from the great state of Pennsylvania in here today. So let's talk about their state. We working our way through. I told y'all we started this, last summer? Said we going into 2025. We done covered every state up to Pennsylvania and on the way downhill, but we still got a ways to go. What's next week? Any more peas in the United States? I always do this. I never find out before the show what's next. But by the end, I'll let y'all know what's next week, okay? Right now, it's this week. Pennsylvania. What is Pennsylvania? The what state? You know, every state got a name, the something state. Pennsylvania is the, well, I don't know, the Crest the Legend state. And Azim Shabazz, right? I don't know. Okay, let's do this. Boxing in the States, Pennsylvania. But how's everybody today? It's good to see everybody. Again, appreciate you for stopping by today. Hope you enjoy the show. Trump in the building. What's up, Trump? How are you? Good to see you. Boxing in the States, Pennsylvania. You're not from Pennsylvania, are you, Trump? Okay. Here we go. Now, okay, let me see. Let me put this down first. Because the music always comes. It's going to come back up on its own. I got to go back to the store when I finish. I went this morning. I forgot to get something for Miss Cass. So, you know, I got to go back for that. If it was me, for me, I wouldn't have to go. But for Miss Cass, yeah, I didn't have time. So she let me do the show first. But you better believe 401, I'm headed to the store. Okay. You know, happy wife, happy life. Whoever made up that statement was a genius. Happy wife, happy life. And then also happy wife, broke husband. Okay, let's go. How you doing, Miss Cass? She listening. Okay. Now, Pennsylvania has a rich boxing history with notable boxers from Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and Easton. You know who from Easton? The Easton Assassin, Larry Holmes. We're going to talk about him too. Now, Philadelphia. Now, boxing was popular in Philadelphia in the early 1900s, especially with European immigrants. Now, the Blue Horizon was a famous boxing arena in Philadelphia that hosted many future champions. Jack Dempsey and Gene Tunney fought at Sesquicentennial Stadium in 1926. Sugar Ray Robinson fought in Philadelphia under his first promotional contract. Joe Louis was trained by a Philadelphia fighter. And we're going to hit some more on Philadelphia, just a little brief thing right now, okay? Then Pittsburgh, right? Another big boxing town up there in Pennsylvania. Crushing Azim, I tell y'all. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh produced many notable fighters, including Billy Conn, Harry the Human Windmill Greb, and George Chip. And we're going to cover them more in depth when we get to the boxers from Pennsylvania segment. But yeah, Pittsburgh, Billy Conn, Harry the Human Windmill Greb, and George Chip. I told you about Harry Greb. Harry Greb fought almost 100 times in a 3-year stretch. 1919, the man fought 45 times, went 45-0. And remember, he fought 45 times. It's only 52 weeks in the year. So damn, almost once a week. And won all of them, okay? Now, the golden age of professional boxing in Pittsburgh was from 1939 to 1941. You got the light on, man. Bad as my eyes is. There we go. That's much better. The golden age of boxing in Pittsburgh was from 1939 to 1941. And guess what? You know, Art Rooney, the founder of the Pittsburgh Steelers, he was a top amateur boxer. Mm-hmm. I think his son Dan run the team now. Dan's still running the Steelers. I think Art passed away. But yeah, Art was an amateur boxer, founder of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. Now, Easton, Pennsylvania. Larry Holmes was a heavyweight champion in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Now, Holmes trained with Muhammad Ali at Ali's training camp in Schuylkill County. I guess that's right. Schuylkill County, right? I put it, I'll put it in there for y'all because I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. HCHUYL, kill. Yeah, this is where Muhammad Ali's training camp was at, and Larry Holmes used to be a sparring partner. Ali gave him a start. That's why Holmes cried after he beat Ali's butt. Yeah, Shyskill County. That's where the training camp was at, where Holmes and Ali trained at. Now, the Pennsylvania Boxing Hall of Fame recognizes boxers from Pennsylvania and others who have impacted the sport in the state of Pennsylvania. Now let's look at a little history, a little more history of the state. Okay, Pennsylvania. I had this ready for Freddie, and there it is. Okay, yeah, boxing and boxers, Pennsylvania. Okay, I don't need you right now. Like, anybody coming? Nope. Okay. Well, how's everybody? Everybody hitting that like button for me, or the appreciation button? I appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, these words are small, so if I get to stumbling, bear with me. I got bad eyes already. Now, for over 100 years, Philadelphia neighborhoods, for better and worse, played a significant role in molding fighters. Over 24 world boxing champions throughout various weight classes called Philadelphia home, okay? Now, nearby communities such as Camden, New Jersey, and Eastern Pennsylvania also produced world champions. Over time, Philadelphia area boxing was supported by a wide network of more than 50 gyms into the 21st century, right? Thousands of young people who sought a better life trained in those gyms, where frequently they found escape from the hazards of gang violence, local robberies, criminal activity, and drugs. Yeah, boxing has always done that, especially in the inner cities, right? Now, the Blue Horizon Gym is no longer open, but they gave spectators a lot to do because they had regular boxing there at one time, but it's no longer open now. But the Blue Horizon. Now, the greater Philadelphia area embraced the sport of boxing as far back as the days of bare knuckles boxing, with great fighters becoming champions of their neighborhoods. In 1876, two Philadelphia bare knuckle fighters, Philadelphia Jimmy Wheaton and Billy Walker, fought before a crowd of gamblers on a barge near Pennville, New Jersey, right? Both of them was from Philly, but this fight was on a barge in Pennville, New Jersey. Now, Walker lost the fight and died from injuries sustained in the fight, right? Wheaton was arrested for his participation in the fight and died 1 year later in a Trenton prison. Yeah, this man was arrested. One fighter died. The other fighter was arrested and sent to prison, where he died a year later in a New Jersey prison because the fight, they were both from Pennsylvania, but the fight was actually in New Jersey, okay? So, yeah, he died in a prison in Trenton, New Jersey. Now, public and legal outreach from this fight resulted in the establishment of the Philadelphia Rules for Boxing. This regulation, created by Philadelphia City Council in coordination with the county sheriff's office, included new rules on the location and duration of fights in the city, right? Now, boxing matches were required to take place within the city limits, and fights could last no longer than 4 rounds, okay? A restriction that was later changed to 6 rounds for scoring purposes. Now, Wheaton and Walker, those two guys that was in that tragic fight, Wheaton and Walker were only 2 of the bare knuckle boxers from Philadelphia who had lasting impacts on the sport. We also had John Clark and Arthur Chambers, both of whom immigrated to the United States from the British Isles, right? They opened boxing schools, right, in the late 19th century and developed a local talent in Philadelphia. Now, as the 20th century approached, Philadelphia began to emerge as a leading world fight center. Throughout the early 1900s, the sport of boxing was especially popular with poor immigrant groups from Europe. Now, members of the city's African American population, which jumped from 34,000 to 480,000 between 1850 and 1950, over a year, right? Our people went from 34,000 to 480,000. That's a big jump, ain't it? Between 1850 and 1950. And they also played important roles in developing the sport and its popularity in the later decades of the 20th century, right? Now, the sport of boxing became a fixture in Pennsylvania's Hispanic communities, which more than doubled between 1990 and 2010. That's recent history. 1990, 2010, the Hispanic communities in Philly doubled, okay? Now, Boxing Hall of Famer Jack Dempsey and Gene Tunney fought the first of their two world heavyweight title fights at Centennial Stadium in South Philadelphia on September 23rd, 1926, okay? Tunney defeated Dempsey in 10 rounds by a unanimous decision in front of a crowd of over 120,000 people. 120,000 in one of the best known fights of the 1920s, a decade when boxing was considered the king of sports. Yeah, boxing was right there behind baseball, boxing and horse racing, because the NFL had only been around a couple years, and the NHL, that was mostly a Canadian thing, right? Yeah, boxing was right there with baseball, horse racing. Those were the big things, big kings of sports back then, 20s. And the Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce estimated that spectators brought in an additional $3 million in revenue to the city around the time of the Dempsey-Tunney fight. $3 million in 1920? That's a lot. That's like up in the 100, 200 millions nowadays. Yes, it is. Okay, let me see. Keep track of this chat. Anyone come in? No. Okay. Some went out. But that's okay. This is for the hardcores. Okay? Now, 1940s, 8 championship fights. Philadelphia hosted 8 championship fights in the 1940s, more than any other decade in the city's history. Now, leading up to this decade, black fighters, with few exceptions, were typically denied entry into mainstream fights. Now, those who were able to fight on boxing main stage were often confronted with racism and had little control over their careers, right? Now, despite being confronted with social and racial obstacles, black boxers performed with distinction during the period. Black lightweight champion Ike Williams, we talked about Ike before, of Trenton, New Jersey, and Bob Montgomery of Philadelphia, both fought several times. We're going to talk about Bob when we get to the boxers from Pennsylvania too. Yeah, Bob Montgomery. Melanin Queen 27 in the building. What's up, Melanin Queen? How are you today? Boxing in the States, Philadelphia. Just going over a little history of it right now. Let's salute Melanin Queen. And yeah, this is tomorrow is that's the drawing for the ticket. So you got the rest of today and tomorrow to get in. But then you still got a week to get your ticket to the event. But yeah, the drawing is almost upon us. Jarrell Hattie in the building. Let's Kensaw Love win it, Jarrell. Let me check. I didn't see Kensaw Love. Did I miss? No. But salute Jarrell. Wait a minute. Let me look back up here. Maybe I missed some people. No, I ain't missed nobody. Nope. Salute to Melanin Queen 27 and Jarrell Hattie, one of the four kings of the panel. Jarrell Hattie, okay? Yeah, Pennsylvania, boxing in the States, Pennsylvania. Okay, now let's get back to it. We just talking about a little history of Philly. Philly was a huge boxing town. Still is. What I mean was, still is. Okay? Yeah, but back in the 40s, around the time, the black fighters were discriminated against. But we had two of them, Ike Williams and Bob Montgomery, fought each other a few times. And Ike was from New Jersey. Bob was from Philly. And we're going to get to Bob in the boxes from Pennsylvania segment. Yeah. On December 5th, 1947, Homesteadville, New Jersey native Arnold Crean, better known as Jersey Joe Walcott, squared up against heavyweight champion Joe Louis at Madison Square Garden. And the final decision from the judges was 2-1 in favor of Louis over the underdog Walcott, a result considered by many historians to be one of the most controversial decisions in boxing history. And Walcott said that, as they were passing each other, going to their corners after the fight, Joe Louis whispered to him that you beat me. Now, Joe Louis denied it, but, why would Joe Louis? I think Walcott was lying. Why would Joe Louis say that? Even if you thought you lost, you ain't going to tell the other fighter you beat me. No, you're going to wait till see what the judges say first. Now, although Walcott lost to Louis in a controversial decision, his participation in this fight proved to have a deeper impact on race, sports, and society as the first time a black boxer broke the color line, okay? Now, prior to this fight, boxing promoters and writers were at times skeptical of the willingness of white fans to pay to see a black man fight, okay? Ticket sales at the Louis-Walcott fight proved that white boxing fans were willing to attend the fight featuring a black champion defending his title against a black challenger. Ticket sales to that fight, $216,477, broke a record for Madison Square Garden that has stood for 20 years, okay? So they proved two black fighters can sell. Broke a 20-year record for ticket sales at the Garden that night. Joe Louis and Jersey Joe Walcott. Furthermore, when Walcott returned to Camden, he was given a hero's welcome by a crowd of over 100,000 South Jersey fans of all social classes, black, white, all social classes and ethnicities, okay? Camden Mayor George Brunner called Walcott's welcome home gathering the greatest single event in Camden's history, okay? So that was big when Joe Louis and Jersey Joe Walcott had that fight at that time. Now, also in 1947, members of the Philadelphia Police Department founded the nonprofit Police Athletic League to provide North Philadelphia's youth with after-school sports, a refuge to escape the dangers of the streets, right? And educational and cultural programs were also held at the Police Athletic League events, okay? Not just sports, educational and cultural programs also. Now, the 23rd District Police Athletic League boxing program, located in a traditionally high crime area of North Philadelphia, served as the training grounds for numerous professional boxers, including Joe Frazier. Now, I know that was probably put there on purpose, because I know in Baltimore, the Upton Gym is in one of the worst neighborhoods of the city, but it was put there on purpose because that's where the troubled youth was at. And you put it right there in their face to get them to come to it. You don't put it over there in the good neighborhood because they ain't coming over there. They're going to stay over there where they at. But you put it right there in the bad neighborhood, right there where they can see it. So this place in Philly being put in that neighborhood, I know it was done on purpose. That's how they did Upton in Baltimore. It was put in that specific neighborhood for a reason, right there where the youth needed to be at, right? A lot of youth parents don't have money to give them bus fare to travel across town if it's to the gym. You put it right there where they can walk to, Okay, so it was put in North Philadelphia. Wait a minute. Let me get back. Yeah, traditionally high crime area of North Philadelphia, and I knew it was put there on purpose because that's how they did Upton up here in Baltimore, right? You put it right there where the youth are at, where the drugs, the gangs, everything. So this is another option for you. You don't put it way across town. Put it right there in the face. Yeah. But anyway, in Philadelphia, robberies from the streets often came into the gyms, which was a good thing. Go in there and fight it out. Neighborhood robberies could become violent sparring sessions, known as gym wars, but they was in the ring, okay? Wasn't out there in the street. Settling it with guns, they're settling with fists now. Now, considered by many fighters to be far rougher than the fights they were training for, these sparring sessions caused some champion fighters and their trainers to refuse to train for fights in the area. That was the soft ones. Come on, man, get on in there. Don't be soft. That's exactly like it is at Upton. Getting there had a rough sparring, man. But soft ones refuse to come there. Okay, that separate the men from the boys. Now, the Hollywood Rocky, released in 1976, captured the sense of pride and the power to overcome adversity that emanated from those hard scrabble neighborhoods, many of which were burdened by high levels of poverty and crime. The fictional character Rocky Balboa was a tough fighter from an Italian immigrant family who rose from, I ain't reading about no damn Rocky, man. We talking about boxing. F a Rocky. Some made up motherfucker, man. Fuck Rocky. Forget my French. I'm talking about no goddamn Rocky. Let's get back to the real boxers. Man, Miss Cass cussing somebody out there. Wow. Yeah, but forget a Rocky, man. We talking about real live boxers, not no Rocky. Some made up guy. They had Rocky on the cover of Sports Illustrated back in the 80s. Come on, man. He was just a hope. Okay. Yeah. But excuse me, yeah. Forget Rocky. Okay, yeah. Also, once one of the most popular sports in the United States, along with baseball and horse racing, boxing by the 21st century had been surpassed by other sports, including football, basketball, ice hockey, and auto racing. Even as interest in boxing declined nationally, however, it remained a hold in the Philadelphia area. 28-year-old Juanita Park native Danny Garcia captured his first world championship in 2012 in Houston and was celebrated as the city's first Hispanic world champion. When Garcia was just 10 years old, his ex-convict father, Angel, introduced him to Juanita Park's Harrogate Boxing Club, a reservoir of boxing tradition for the largely Puerto Rican neighborhood. Right? Green shamrocks over the gym's entrance served as a reminder of working-class Irish American fighters who called the neighborhood home before the late 1980s. Now, in the Philadelphia fashion, Garcia opened a gym in his neighborhood in 2013 to give back to his community and mentor fighters in the neighborhood's Puerto Rican population. Yeah, Danny gave back. And he was a great fighter, too. Danny Garcia. Yeah. Yeah, but forget our Rocky, man. I don't know how I even started. I got started reading that. Hold up, Rocky? Ain't nobody talking about no damn Rocky. We talking about real boxers, man. Come on, man. Yeah. They talk about Rocky over there in them chats where them casuals go to. You talk about Rocky over there, man. Now, we talking people like Joe Frazier, Danny Garcia, people like that, man, that was actually in the ring, right? Now, Philadelphia really attracted major fights in the 21st century due to the continued popularity and lure of nearby Atlantic City, Las Vegas, and numerous Native American-run casinos around the country. Now, Boots trying to bring it back, right? Now, in April 2008, the legendary gym and staple of North Philadelphia, Joe Frazier's gym, closed due to Frazier's health issues, unmanageable debt, and back taxes. We're going to talk about Joe Frazier's gym in a very little while, right? And Philadelphia's popular boxing venue, the Blue Horizon, closed in 2010 because of the deterioration of the building, tax issues, and the decline of the surrounding neighborhood. And the loss of the Blue Horizon also caused numerous local boxing promoters to move their cards to Atlantic City venues. Still, other Philadelphia boxing landmarks survived the challenges of the 21st century. Now, since the 1950s, boxers, including numerous world champions, trained in Front Street Gym on the border between largely white working class Port Richmond and primarily Hispanic Kensington. The gym was featured in the, there we go again. Yeah, let's move on. Let's get ready to talk about Rocky again. Okay, next we're going to talk about, oh shoot, man. I was talking about the history of Pennsylvania. I didn't even change my slide display. That was supposed to be up there all that damn time. It's Rocky's fault. Man. I didn't even tell. That was, okay. But now, talk about a little bit the Golden Gloves up there. Just a little, okay? Very brief. Very brief. Yeah, man, I'm not thinking about no damn Rocky. That's a fictional movie. That's an actor. And in the Hall of Fame. I should be in the Hall of Fame. Me and Rocky got the exact same record, 0-0, with a 0%, well, 100% knockout rate, right? Yeah. 100% knockout rate, 0-0. Turkey Alley Sheik in the Hall of Fame. They making a joke out of the International Boxing Hall of Fame, man. Putting people like Rocky and Turkey Alley Sheik. What has Turkey Alley Sheik done to be in the Hall of Fame? You got boxers that's in the ring shedded blood and stuff to get in the Hall of Fame, and then Turkey Alley Sheik, they just put him in there. Come on, man. Well, let me stop and get back to the show. Yeah, I don't rock with no Rocky though, man. That shit is fake. It's a good movie and everything, but when it comes to the Hall of Fame and stuff, Rocky don't belong in no Hall of Fame. Come on, man. The man Sylvester Stallone never boxed a minute in his life. Okay? He had Ernie Shavers in auditioning in the 70s, right? And they were spawned. Ernie was auditioning for a part in Rocky. And Sylvester Stallone and Ernie Shavers was spawned. And Ernie Shavers was taking it easy on Sylvester Stallone. So Sylvester Stallone said, come on, Ernie, hit me with something hard. Ernie hit his ass in the body. Ernie didn't get the part, and that was his last day of auditioning. So how's he in the Hall of Fame? He couldn't even take a shot for Ernie Shavers in spawn. Yeah. So come on, man. Get out of here with that nonsense. Yeah. It pissed me off because I read that little bit that I read. Rock with no Rocky. Okay, let's get this up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man, but yeah, no. That's like diminishing our sport, man. Putting people like that in the Hall of Fame. All right? It really is. It really is. Turkey Alley Sheik. He putting on some good fights and stuff, but he haven't earned no Hall of Fame yet. He ain't like the Bob Father, Don King. They belong in the Hall of Fame. Not no Turkey Alley Sheik. These men been doing it for 50 years. And you gonna try to put Turkey Alley Sheik up there with them? Come on, man. It's just diminishing the Hall of Fame, man. With the nonsense they doing. Rocky, Turkey Alley Sheik. And then it's diminishing the entire sport. I don't know why I couldn't get my thing to come up. I gotta type it in again. Bear with me for a second, please. Take me like 2 minutes. I set all this stuff up before this show, but I don't know what happened. Yeah, we're coming next to the, we got a whole lot of boxes from Pennsylvania. Yeah, and we got a good piece on Smoking Joe first to start it off. Yeah, I forgot to put my little picture of the history of Pennsylvania. This is not that long here. I ain't trying to bore y'all to death. But appreciate everybody coming through. You know, 1000%. Just Do Boxing coming up at 4 p.m. Don't forget, tomorrow is the drawing is free. Going to see who's going to win the ticket to the fight. Javante Davis and Lamont Roach. I got like a 5th round knockout. Lamont going biddy bye-bye in the 5th round. I hope somebody bring a pillow for the man. You know, I hate to see him looking like Leo Santa Cruz, laying up against that hard turnbuckle sleep like that. So, you know, if the person can't go to the fight to win the ticket and I go, I'm going to take a pillow. So when Lamont go to sleep, I'm going to tell somebody, hand that up there to him. You know, might take a blanket for him too, who knows? Because he's going to definitely need it. Because the man is going to sleep, okay? Going to sleep. Now let's talk about the sports museum up there, Golden Gloves, okay? Very briefly. Now, it's no secret, no surprise that Pittsburgh produced some of the nation's grittiest fighters, Pittsburgh now, over the past 100 years. From light heavyweight champion boxer Billy Conn to professional wrestling superstar Bruno Sammartino. Remember Bruno? Visit the sports museum to spar with legends, okay? Now, evolving from bare knuckles prize fighting, boxing blossomed in Pittsburgh, a city populated with people willing to fight to escape the mills and mines. Now, by the 1920s, Pittsburgh had produced 3 middleweight world champions, right? And the golden age of professional boxing in Pittsburgh occurred from 1939 to 1941, 2-year stretch, when 5 Western Pennsylvania boxers won championships in 5 of 8 traditional weight classes. At no other time in boxing history has one city so dominated the professional boxing scene. From 1939 to 1941, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania dominated boxing, man. They had 5 boxers, champions in 8 of the weight classes between 1939 and 1941. Pittsburgh, PA, y'all, okay? No other city dominated over a period in boxing history as Pittsburgh did in that 2-year period. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay? Now, the fight of the century. Okay? Talk about that. Fight of the century. Now, Billy Conn will forever be remembered for his near upset of reigning world heavyweight champion Joe Louis. Y'all heard me talk about that before. Billy was a dummy, man. Had to fight one. After a distinguished career as a light heavyweight, Conn fought Joe Louis for the heavyweight title at the New York Polo Grounds in 1941. One of the most listened to events in radio history. Louis later recalled the fight against the Pittsburgh Kid as the toughest in his career. Damn near lost him, but Billy was a dummy. Don't miss rare archival video from the fight of the century along with Conn's light heavyweight. I put the wrong thing in. But anyway, yeah, Billy Conn had Joe Louis with a 15-round fight. I put the wrong thing in. 15-round fight. Through 12 rounds, Billy Conn was way ahead on. By the 12th round, he was giving Joe Louis a boxing lesson. By the end of the 12th round, Joe Louis needed a knockout to win the fight. All Billy Conn had to do was make it 13, 14, and 15 on his feet. He had the great Joe Louis beaten. And this was before that 12-year straight reign, the 25 straight defenses. None of that would have happened. But when round 13 began, Billy Conn decided to come out and stand toe-to-toe with Joe Louis and immediately got knocked out. Okay? I mean immediately, like in the first 30 seconds of the 13th round. He got knocked out, okay? He fired on anyone. Like I said, he was a dummy. Don't be a dummy. What's up, Define on anyone? Remember them commercials? Don't be a dummy. But Billy Conn, I don't know what was wrong with him. He came out, he had the fight won. He had outmaneuvered Joe Louis, used ring generalship, his IQ and everything for 12 rounds. And he was so far ahead in the cards, Joe Louis needed a knockout, right? And Joe Louis couldn't catch up to him in 12 rounds, so it likely wasn't going to catch up to him in the last 3. But Billy, I don't know what happened. He got cocky. He was a dummy. That sum it all up. Okay, let's talk about some boxers from Pennsylvania now. Boxers from Pennsylvania. Okay, we got a little piece on Joe Louis. I mean, not Joe Louis. Joe Frazier, the granddaddy of them all from Pennsylvania. Smoking Joe Frazier, okay? Smoking Joe only lost 4 fights in his career. 2 to Muhammad Ali, 2 to George Foreman. He fought during the golden era of heavyweights. None of the other ones could beat him. He lost to 2 of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, only ones that beat Joe Frazier. That's it. Okay? That is it. Nobody else. But George did him bad, man. But like I was saying in the beginning, it was a terrible style matchup, man, because Joe Frazier just only knew one thing, come forward. And, George Foreman had a significant size. Joe Frazier like 5'11", George Foreman like 6'5" or something. And the reach, like 6-7 inches in reach. And Smoking Joe just had to go through too much to get inside where he wanted to be. And he never made it in there because, wow. Every time he got halfway in, next thing he knew, he was on the mat. But he kept getting up. But the referee had seen enough and stopped it because, nothing was going to change. It was only the second round, 15-round schedule. Joe was going to go down about 50 more times. He was going to get up 50 times. So the referee said, that's enough, and stopped it. Okay? That's the only difference between a fight. Like Cus D'Amato told Mike Tyson, don't fight George, because the same would happen to him. But Mike wouldn't have kept getting up. After like 2 knockdowns, it would have been over. Mike didn't have the heart Smoking Joe had. Smoking Joe was blind in both eyes, swollen shut against Ali in the Thriller in Manila, and arguing with his trainer because his trainer was getting ready to throw the towel, and Smoking Joe wanted to keep fighting, couldn't even see, right? But yeah, boxers from Philadelphia, Smoking Joe Louis, Smoking Joe Frazier. I don't know why I keep saying Joe Louis. Smoking Joe Frazier, okay? There he is. Now, man, I can't see the chat. There we go. Okay. Joe Frazier was born in South Carolina, but he moved to Philadelphia as a teenager. Now, at age 16, Joe got a job in a slaughterhouse. And when he began training as a boxer, he would punch hanging sides of beef, as one of his training, one of his training tools, right? And that was one of the similarities they did in Rocky. They copied that from Joe Frazier when Sylvester Stallone did that in Rocky, right? Copied off Smoking Joe. Now, Frazier won an Olympic gold medal in 1964 at age 20. And that's a good story behind that. Smoking Joe lost in the finals in the Olympic trials. I think Smoking Joe, was it light heavyweight or heavyweight? It might have been light heavyweight in the Olympics. But he lost in the finals, so Joe wasn't going to go. I think it was Buster Mathis. So Joe wasn't going to go. But his team Yancey Durham was part of his team. They talked to him. He was so depressed for losing and said he was an alternate, so he was supposed to travel with the team to Tokyo. But Joe wasn't going to go, so his team talked him into it, and he went. And guess what? He ended up competing because the guy that had beat him got injured or something. So it's a good thing he went. He ended up on the team and made it all the way to the semifinals. In the semifinal match, he broke his thumb on his left hook hand, right? But he won the match. So now he didn't tell anybody because he knew if he told his trainer, they was going to pull him out of the gold medal match. So Joe didn't tell nobody. He went to the gold medal match with a broken thumb on his left hook hand and won. Yep. Came out of it with the gold medal, Smoking Joe Frazier. Now let's continue. Yeah, he won an Olympic gold medal in 1964 at age 20. Then he turned pro right after the Olympics, becoming the world heavyweight champion on February 16th, 1970. He is best known for his long rivalry with Muhammad Ali, who he fought 3 times, okay? Fought Ali 3 times, including the fight of the century in 1971, which Frazier won. You know, that was gave Ali his first loss. And Joe, him and Ali, I wouldn't call them exactly friends, but, you know, they talked to each other before that fight. Joe loaned Ali money when Ali was banned from boxing and couldn't make a living. Joe loaned the money to help with his bills. And then when Ali got stripped in 1967, they had a tournament to see who was going to replace Ali as champion. And Joe boycotted the tournament because Joe believed in it. He supported the Vietnam War, which Ali didn't. But Joe said Ali had the right to believe in whatever he believed in. So Joe didn't participate in the tournament in support of Ali, right? That's why I say when Ali did all that trash talking to Joe, he went overboard. Because Joe Frazier was really in his corner when he had got stripped and they was doing Ali dirty. Joe was really in his corner, man. Didn't fight in the tournament, boycotted it in support of him in protest, loaned him money, and Ali treated Joe like he treated him. Yeah, he was way off base. Okay. But Joe won that fight of the century in 1971. Now that wasn't the best of the 3, that was the most iconic. You know, it's a difference between the best in the ring and being the most iconic outside the ring. The first one in 1971 was the biggest and most iconic fight. The best one as far as the ring was the Thriller in Manila in 1975. But Joe won the first one, right? Because that was like Ali was the anti-war hero. Joe was the hero of the war people, man. And they said outside that arena that night, they was out there fighting with baseball bats. And the night of the fight, they said that they was battling outside the Madison Square Garden was better than Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali in the ring. The police had their hands full that night, man. It was really something. Yeah. Bruce Gass put me up on something, and I read up on it a little too. That was really a time, man. Yeah, I was 11 years old. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, after he won that fight, 1971, okay, we're going to go back a little ways before that now. Now, Frazier began boxing at local police athletic leagues. Soon after boxing became a career for Frazier, his backers purchased a building on North Broad Street to serve as his gym. Now, originally named Cloverleigh, this circa 1895 building had previously been used as an industrial warehouse. Now, from 1968 on, Frazier continued to use this gym as his base. When he retired from actively boxing, Frazier purchased the building and opened his own gym and training center, okay? Frazier focused on training the next generation of boxers, including several who went on to become title winners. Yep. He trained a couple of, I keep not changing the thing. There's Smoking Joe there. And there's Smoking Joe there. Okay? Yeah, he trained a couple of people that became world champions. Okay? Now, he gave his time to help make a difference in the lives of local youth. Now, by 2006, Frazier had converted the 3rd floor of the building to an apartment and lived there until financial challenges forced him to sell the building in 2008. Okay, yeah, he actually lived up on it third floor of the building. Now, Frazier lost a short fight against cancer in 2011, and the building is now a furniture store with a laminate business in the rear. I think at the time of this article it was. It's still a furniture store and a laminate place, Crush, or a zine. Yeah, and if you want to get your ticket, you can hit that link right there. Melanie Queen got it in the chat, and go straight to the Cash App and purchase your ticket. Yeah, the building is now a furniture store with a laminate business in the rear. Now, local individuals, the Preservation Alliance of Greater Philadelphia, and the National Trust for Historic Preservation have been leading efforts to ensure that the building is protected in the future and that Frazier's Philadelphia legacy is recognized. The National Trust included the gym in its 2012 list of 11 most endangered historic places. Smoking Joe. Let's look at some other boxes from Pennsylvania, like the Eastern Assassin, Larry Holmes. The Eastern Assassin, okay? Now, what I'm going to use for this? Let me see this. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Bear with me for a second while I'm working on the Eastern Assassin. Should have been ready, but it's all good. Oh, the wrong thing. My big fingers, man. Come on, guys. People waiting on you, man. Got to do better. I'm going to mess around and get fired eventually. Who did I say? Larry Holmes? Yeah. Larry Holmes is first. The Eastern Assassin? I should have had a big write-up on Larry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He used to train with Ali up there. What was it? Shaw something county? Him and Ali. George Foreman ain't for no Pennsylvania. What is he doing on here? But make sure y'all join me tomorrow for the life and career of Don King. Okay? Yeah, that is going to be very good. Life and career of the Don King. Let me check Larry off. Get ready to talk about you now, Larry. It is Larry. Okay. Now, Larry Holmes, former professional boxer and world heavyweight champion from 1978 to 1985. He was born in Georgia, right? He competed from 1973 to 2002, 29 years, and earned the nickname the Eastern Assassin after his hometown of Eastern Pennsylvania, right? He was known for his left jab, overhand right, and ring generalship. Holmes is often regarded as one of the greatest heavyweight boxers in history. In 2008, he was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, Larry, from Eastern Pennsylvania, born in Cuthbert, Georgia, but from Eastern Pennsylvania, he won 69 fights, lost 6, had 44 knockouts. Larry Holmes, the Eastern Assassin. Boxers from Pennsylvania, okay? I gotta bring you closer, screen. I don't feel like putting them glasses on. So bring the screen closer, right? Okay. Boxers from Pennsylvania. B-Hop. There's B-Hop on the right. Bernard Hopkins, okay? Ain't he from Philly? Yeah. Ain't he from Philly, Crush? Or is he, I think? Yeah, Bernard. Yeah, Hopkins from Philly, Cash. You know he is. Stop playing. Yeah. Yeah, B-Hop from Philly. Come on, B-Hop. I'm having issues here. I go through all this before I start and everything just worked perfect. But once I start, Murphy's Law. Okay. Tune in tomorrow for B-Hop. No, just kidding. There we go. Bernard Hopkins. Now, he competed from 1988. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I had what I wanted at first and moved it. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, B-Hop competed from 1988 to 2016, right? Know what that is. That's 28 years, almost 30 years. He was known as the executioner and the alien in the boxing world. He's considered one of the most successful boxers of the last 30 years. Hopkins converted to Islam and gave up drugs, alcohol, and junk food, right? Yeah, B-Hop. I don't know what I'm talking about that for. Bear with me. Yeah, there we go. And he's one of the most successful boxers of the past 3 decades. He having held multiple world championships in 2 weight classes, including the Undisputed Championship at middleweight from 2001 to 2005, and the Lineal Championship at light heavyweight from 2011 to 2012. And he's tied for the most championship wins at middleweight with 20, with Triple G, okay? And B-Hop is from Philadelphia, Philly. He had 65 fights in his career, right? 65 of them. B-Hop won, he had 67. B-Hop won 55, lost 8, had 2 draws, 2 no contests, 32 by the knockout route. Bernard Hopkins. Boxers from Philly, y'all. Philadelphia. Boxers from Philadelphia. Okay. Next is the great Harry Greb. Come on. Yeah, I need to get into the 21st century. I'm still doing pen and paper. People got them little things they talk into, make notes. I'm still a ink, pen, and paper, notebook paper guy. I know y'all hear that paper rattling. I'm sorry. I don't know how to do all that dictation and all that stuff in the sum machine. I write everything. But the great Harry Greb is next. Okay? We're going to get it. We're going to get it together. Don't worry. Don't worry. Forget what you heard. It's all good. You heard Greb is from Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh, as a matter of fact. The great Harry Greb, yeah. There we go. Harry Greb. Let's talk about Harry. Let me put him up there first. There's Harry. Pittsburgh Windmill, okay? He's known for his aggressive fighting style and stamina. He was able to throw punches from any direction and was said to throw a high volume of punches. Sports Illustrated ranked Greb as the 5th best pound-for-pound boxer of all time. Greb's aggressive style was similar to Henry Armstrong. He was also known as the Smoke City Wildcat and the Pittsburgh Bearcat, but most well known as the Pittsburgh Windmill. Now, Greb is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He won 109 fights, lost 9, had 3 draws, and he had 50 knockouts. The great Harry Greb, okay? Then we have Tommy Loughran, boxers from Pennsylvania. Tommy Loughran, another great one, okay? Another great one. Tommy Loughran. Take a look at Tommy. Oh, put him up there. There's Tommy. Right there. No. That ain't Tommy. Oh, you know, next is not Tommy, Charlie Burley from the Murderers Row fight. I didn't even know he was from Pennsylvania, but yeah, Charlie Burley, one of the Murderers Row fighters, is next. There he is. He was called the best of the Murderers Row gang. Group of black fighters back in the 40s who was highly avoided. It was 8 of them. Charlie was considered the best of them. Yeah, Charlie is next. I'm sorry, my bad. I gotta find Charlie. There he is. Okay, yeah, Charlie Burley is next. Okay. Nobody came in. Now, Charlie Burley, right? He fought as a welterweight and middleweight from 1936 to 1950, 14-year career. Now, Archie Moore, the light heavyweight champion who was defeated by Burley in the 1944 middleweight fight, was one of several fighters who called Burley the greatest fighter ever. Okay? Like I said, one of the Murderous Road fighters, highly avoided, thought to be one of the best of Murderous Road, Charlie Burley. And in the International Boxing Hall of Fame, although he never fought for a major title, he was a colored welterweight and middleweight champion. He went as high as fighting heavyweights, right? Just to get fights, because nobody would fight him. A lot of the 8 Murderous Road fighters had to fight each other just to make money, you know? And Charlie is from Bessemer, Pennsylvania, okay? He won 83 fights, lost 12, had 2 draws, 1 no contest, and Charlie had 50 knockouts. Charlie Burley, okay? Now, Tommy Loughran, okay? Now Tommy Loughran. He should be right there because I just had him up. Yeah, he is right there. I love it when a plan comes together. Tommy was sitting right there waiting for me. There he is. What's up, Tommy? Okay, Tommy Loughran. Now, he was a light heavyweight champion, right? Statistical boxing website BoxRec lists Loughran as the number 7 ranked light heavyweight of all time, while the Ring magazine found Annette Fleischer placed him at number 4. The International Boxing Research Organization rates Loughran as the 6th best lightweight ever. Loughran was named the Ring magazine's Fighter of the Year twice, first in 1929 and again in 1931. He was inducted into the Ring Magazine Hall of Fame in 1956, and the big one, in the National Boxing Hall of Fame in 1991. But they're making a joke out of it. Like I told you, they got Rocky or Sylvester Stallone, one of them in it, and they got Turkey Ali Sheik in it. So why ain't Cass Sports in it? Cass Sports, Turkey Ali Sheik, Rocky got the same record, 0-0, and 100% knockout rate. We ain't been in no fights, and we ain't knocked nobody out. That's 100%. 100% of 0 is 100% of nothing. But, you know, all jokes aside, they're making a joke, a mockery of the International Boxing Hall of Fame, putting them in it, man. Now, maybe one day Turkey Ali Sheik deserves to go in. But he's not up there with the Bob Father and Don King, people like that yet. These men been doing it for 50 years. Give us 50 years from now, come talk to me about Turkey Ali Sheik and the fights he done made, right? This man by next year might be the faded away. Who knows? They don't deserve to be in no Hall of Fame. No. Neither does Sylvester Stallone. These guys in the ring getting teeth knocked out, concussion, some of them dying to get into the Hall of Fame. You're going to put these people in there that never even climbed through the ropes, right? Or Turkey Ali Sheik done climbed through the ropes to talk on a microphone or something. Sylvester Stallone climbed through there to act in some movie in the Hall of Fame. Well, let's get back to the boxers, man. I just can't get over that, man. They making a mockery of the sport. But boxers from Pennsylvania, next is Tyrone Everett. Tyrone Everett, right? Had a tragic ending. He was killed by his girlfriend. I think it was drug related, you know. He was up there with this other guy. And I think they were doing some kind of transaction. His girlfriend didn't know about it or something. She grabbed that gun and shot him. So, you know, when they went to court, the other guy testified in her favor because he said, shit, she killed him. He might kill my ass. But I think she did like 5 years or something, you know. How you kill somebody? If I thought I could get away with 5 years, I got a couple people I want to kill. Shit, 5 years. But let's Tyrone Everett. I was just thinking. Yeah. Okay, Tyrone Everett is next. Appreciate everybody. There's Al Booker. What's up, Al Booker? How you doing today, my brother? We are talking about to this segment boxers from Pennsylvania now. You know, this was the boxing in the States. Pennsylvania, pretty good one. Boxers from Pennsylvania now. Tyrone Everett. Yeah, we did the profile brought to you by Mike Masick, the great Mike Masick, bringing us those great profiles, man. This was a Mike Masick profile we did on Tyrone Everett. That's how I found out about that situation with him and everything. Yeah. But a great fighter. Only lost once. He was from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was a top-rated contender in the junior lightweight division during the 1970s. His best-known fight is a controversial decision loss to World Boxing Council junior lightweight, the great champion Alfredo Escalera, November 30th, 1976. They gave it to Escalera in Pennsylvania. And now, Escalera was Puerto Rican, right? They had a Puerto Rican judge. The referee was judging at that time. And they had a judge from Pennsylvania. Now, they knew the Puerto Rican judge was probably going to go for Alfredo. And they figured they would get the Pennsylvania judge if the fight was close like that. And they trusted the referee was a fair guy, had a history of being fair. So they got the referee. And of course, the Puerto Rican judge went for Alfredo Escalera. And guess what? Everett won the fight, but the judge from Philly cheated and went for Escalera, the one they had counted on. And he should have won the fight, but the judge from Philly swayed it, gave it to Escalera, man. Yeah. And he got up out of there quick, too, because them people were looking for him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Tyrone is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right? And he had 37 fights in his career. He won 36, lost 1. He had 20 knockouts. Tyrone Everett, yeah. Boxers from Pennsylvania. Matthew Saad Muhammad. Good fighter, fought back in the 80s. Went up against Spinks and Dwight Muhammad Kwawi. Them guys. Saad Muhammad. Oh, shoot. I'm not even changing the damn displays. I'm sorry. There's Tyrone Everett right there. My bad, y'all. Tyrone Everett. I only missed one. Tyrone. And there's Matthew Saad Muhammad on the right. Okay. My bad. Okay. Yeah, I got to check him off if I can find him. There he is right there. Okay. Matthew Saad Muhammad. Now, where are we? George, I'm old school. I'm still using pen and paper. I don't know about that fancy stuff you're talking to for your notes and everything. Give me an ink pen and a notebook. I'm good. Matthew Saad Muhammad, former light heavyweight champion. He was a fan favorite known for his dramatic fights. He had the WBC title for 2.5 years and successfully defended it 8 times, 7 by knockout, right? He was born Matthew Franklin, remember? And he was found on Philadelphia's Ben Franklin Parkway and raised by nuns. Wow. Mother or somebody abandoned him, found on Franklin Parkway and raised by nuns. I never knew that. I told you I'm learning too. After winning the light heavyweight championship, he converted to Islam, right? That's when he became Matthew Saad Muhammad, but born Matthew Franklin. That's when he changed his name, yeah. But yeah, Saad Muhammad is from where's he from, Crush? Philly. From Philly. See, Crush, and we got a couple of Pennsylvanians in here. Philadelphia. Crush the Legend and Azim Shabazz is in here. But Matthew Saad Muhammad from Philly, he won 39, lost 16, had 3 draws, 39 knockouts. Salute Terrell Cameron. I thought you was in here already, Terrell. No, well, Terrell was in here early yesterday. Salute Terrell Cameron. How are you today, my brother? Good to see you. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. See my people's in here, man. It's Thursday. We got a big one tomorrow. The life and career of Don King. Don't miss it. Okay? No, okay? Boxers from Pennsylvania. Who's next? Bob Montgomery. Yeah, Bob Montgomery. He had some good fights with him, Ike Williams, and Bojack. Not Bomac, Bojack. Them 3. Back from the 40s. Any combination of them, you like old fights, pull them up. Bob Montgomery, Ike Williams, Bojack. Don't put in Bo Mac now. Bo Jack. Okay. Let's talk about Bob. We got Boots and Cool Boy on here too. We talked about Danny Garcia already, remember? Okay, let me change it. Bob. I got an old picture of Bob. Oh, come on, man. I get frustrated fast. I got to stop that. Okay, Bob Montgomery. Can't find my cursor. There's Bob. That's Bob on the right. Okay, throwing the jab. Now, I'm not looking for the surgeon. I'm looking for the boxer. There's a Bob Montgomery that was a surgeon, too. Now, we don't want him today. I might need him eventually, but not now. Not today. Bob Montgomery. Okay, let's talk about Bob right quick. I ain't trying to bore y'all. Now, Bob took the New York State Athletic Commission World Heavy Lightweight Championship in May 1943, and then he won it again in March 1944. He was known as the Philadelphia Bearcat, right? And Bob, little short one on Bob. I got to start putting this ink pen in the spot where I'm at. Bob is from Philly, won 75 wins, 19 losses, 3 draws, 37 by the knockout route. Billy Conn is next. Boxers from Pennsylvania. Billy Conn. Who was a gang member, Azim? Bob Montgomery? Oh, you talking about B-Hop. Okay, yeah. I think, B-Hop went to prison and everything, didn't he? Yeah. You sure did. Yeah. There's some time. Billy Conn is next, boxers from Pennsylvania. Yeah, just little short things, that's all. I got smart that time. I put the ink pen right there and went straight to it. Billy Conn. Billy Conn from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Billy's from Pittsburgh. Now, Billy was a light heavyweight champion, right? Famous for his fights with Joe Louis. But we talked about that. He almost had Joe. He had Joe Louis beaten. Then he turned into a dummy and got knocked out standing in front of one of the best finishers in boxing history, right? He had a professional record of 63 wins, 11 losses, and 1 draw with 14 wins by knockout. His nickname throughout most of his career was the Pittsburgh Kid. Inducted into the inaugural International Boxing Hall of Fame in the inaugural class of 1990. Any of them old school guys went in 1990 was very good, you know. Yeah, we went in the inaugural year. They had a whole bunch of them going because they didn't start until 1990, so they made a special category from those guys that fought way back then, like up to like the 50s, probably was the cutoff. And they called it the old timers category. Okay? Yeah. So next is Gabe Rosado. More up toward this era. Gabe was like, I guess he was like a journeyman. Is Gabe still fighting? I seen him on there commentating or something recently. Yeah, Gabe Rosado. There go. That's Billy Conn right there. I keep forgetting to change. That's Gabe Rosado right there. Okay. Now Gabe, boxers from Philly. He is from Philly and a member of the city's large Puerto Rican community, known by the nickname King, and challenged for a middleweight world title twice. In 2013, he had notable wins over Joshua Clottey, Bekdamir Melikuziev, and Glenn Tapia. He's known for putting on a show even when he doesn't win. Rosado says, in boxing, a lot of guys play it safe, okay? From Philly, Rosado, 26 wins, 17 losses, 1 draw, 1 no contest, 15 knockouts. Okay. Next, boxers from Pennsylvania, Deron Boots Ennis. Deron Boots Ennis. Okay. Deron Boots Ennis. Okay. Yeah. Change it is Boots. Now Boots. Oh, come on, man. I keep hitting stuff. Here we go. Deron Boots Ennis, right? Currently the IBF champion at welterweight, okay? He's known for his knockout ratio, power, and flamboyant style. He has never lost a round in his career, okay? He made his professional debut in April 2016 and has a record of, I think Boots is what, 34? 34, 33. I got 33 and over. 1 no contest, 29 knockouts. Knockout ratio of 87.8%. Okay. Decorated amateur. Right. He won a silver medal in 2014, gold medal in 2015 at the U.S. National Golden Gloves Championships. Deron Boots Ennis. Next, cool boy, Stephen Fulton. Deron is from Philly, by the way. Boots. Cool boy, also from Philly. Stephen Fulton, known as Cool Boy in the boxing ring. Okay, let's talk about Cool Boy. Just briefly, boxers from Pennsylvania. Stephen Cool Boy Fulton from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right? And he had held titles in 2 weight classes. He had the WBC featherweight title. Jamon Cool Boy. Is he a champion right now at featherweight? Yeah, he just won it. He's currently the featherweight champion he just won that at 126, right? Previously had the WBC and WBO super bantamweight titles from 2021 and 2023, lost them to the Monster. Fulton's father introduced him to boxing as a way to manage his anger and rage, okay? Yeah, currently the WBC featherweight champion, 126. Cool boy, right? And he is from Philly. 23 wins, 1 loss, 8 knockouts. Stephen Fulton. Okay. Marvis Frazier. Boxers from Pennsylvania. Next, Marvis Frazier, son of Joe Frazier. Yeah, I got a picture of Marvis. Matter of fact, there's Marvis and Joe. Yeah, Marvis Frazier is next. Okay, Marvis from Philly, Pennsylvania. Okay, son of Joe Frazier. He retired from boxing in 1988 with a record of 19 wins, 2 losses, and 8 knockouts. He retired after he got knocked out by 30 seconds against Mike Tyson, right? He is most well known for a fight against Mike Tyson on July 26, 1986, in which Tyson knocked him out in 30 seconds of the first round, right? The fight took place at the Golden Falls Civic Center in Glens Falls, New York. Frazier was challenging Mike for the heavyweight. He challenged for the heavyweight title once. I don't know. Did Mike have? Yeah, he was challenging for the heavyweight title, then I believe. But Mike knocked him out in 30 seconds. Yeah, Marvis from Philly. Okay. Next, after Marvis, is Jackie Frazier Lyde, Joe's daughter. There's Jackie Frazier Lyde. Yep. She participated in Ali Frazier 4. Now, you know a fight is iconic when on the 30-year anniversary, both the participants' daughters fight, right? Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali won March 8th, 1971. The two daughters fought on the 30-year anniversary, March 8th, 2001. That's iconic there. Ali Frazier 4. Ali won Ali Frazier 4 too. Yep. Yeah, Ali won that one. Yeah. Jackie didn't have a long career as a boxer. But it was a good fight. I think it was a split decision. I think Jackie won on one judge's card, as a matter of fact. Yeah. It wasn't a bad fight at all. No. Jackie did her thing. Layla didn't, because Layla knocked out 21 or 24. Only 3 went the distance with Layla. Jackie was one of those 3. They went the distance with Layla Ali, okay? Yeah. Because Layla had 24 wins and 21 knockouts. Jackie was one of those 3 that Layla didn't get up out of there. Yes, she was. Jackie Frazier Lyde. Yeah, she's a former professional boxer, daughter of former heavyweight champion Smoking Joe Frazier, right? In January 2000, at the age of 38, Frazier announced that she would begin participating in the sport of boxing at 38 years old when she started, right? And she fought Ali that next year. She might have started just to fight Ali. But she did have 15 fights. She won 13. Though her only loss was that fight that later Ali. 1 loss, 1 no contest, and 9 knockouts. Yeah, she got 9 up out of there. Later did. Yeah. David Bay is from Philly. It's David. Boxers from Pennsylvania. David Bay is from Philly. Yeah, he's from Philly. That's David on the left. Yeah. Okay. Well, he knocked the sweat off somebody's face. Damn. That looked like it hurt. David Bay. Okay. David Bay. Okay. Yep. He held the USBA title, United States Boxing Association minor title. I don't even think that's still around. He unsuccessfully challenged. Is that Larry Holmes? He's knocking like that. I think it might be. But he lost to Holmes. He unsuccessfully challenged Larry Holmes for the heavyweight title in 1985. Bay was an outstanding amateur boxer who had taken up the sport to lose weight and eventually competed on the U.S. Army boxing team. Yeah, that is Holmes. Yeah, Holmes did eventually beat him, but he caught Holmes with something there. Looked like it could be a left hook, right? Yeah. But he's from Philly. He won 18, lost 11, had 1 draw. He had 14 knockouts. Let's go back a ways again. George Chip. We're not going to get them all in because we're coming to the end now. But I appreciate everybody riding with me today. On board. Don't forget tomorrow, the life and career of Don King. Okay? We're going to talk about him. Don, colorful guy. He got sued by a lot of people. Damn near everybody that boxed in the 70s and 80s sued him. Now, yeah, George Chip was a Lithuanian-American boxer. He was the world middleweight champion from 1913 to 1914 in an era of great middleweight, right? Chip came to be known as a heavy puncher with an impressive knockout ratio in his time. He was known as a Madison Miner and a Newcastle Miner. And Chip was from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Somebody not from Philly. Scranton, Pennsylvania. 41 wins, 17 losses, 3 draws, 1 no contest, 16 by way of knockout. I did it again. There's George Chip right there. Okay, get a couple more in. Buster Drayton, That's Buster on the left. Boxers from Pennsylvania, Buster Drayton. I gotta find out what's next week for y'all too, and for me too. Buster Drayton. We're gonna take it all the way up to Just Do Boxing's doorstep. Buster Drayton. Okay. Now Buster, we're gonna get them all in. Yeah, we only got a couple more. Buster was the IBF World Champion at light middleweight, right? He turned pro in 1978 and won the vacant IBF Junior middleweight title with a decision over Carlos Santos in 1986. He defended the belt twice before losing it to Matthew Hilton the following year. Buster Drayton. Buster's from Philly, won 40, lost 15, one draw, one no contest, 28 knockout. Yeah, we're gonna get them all in. Two more. Fritzy Zivit is next. Yeah, we're gonna get him. There's Fritzy Zivit. Okay, let's get Fritzy up here. Okay. Fritzy. What's up, Fritzy? Hell of a name, Fritzy. Okay. Now, Fritzy was an American Croatian Slovene boxer, right? He had the World Welterweight Championship from October 4th, 1940 until July 29th, 1941. A few months short of a year. Okay. And he's the first person to be in the International Boxing Hall of Fame in the entire Slavic boxing world. Fritzy Zivit. Fritzy is from Lawrenceville, Pennsylvania. Now get this. Fritzy won 158 fights. He lost 65. He had 10 draws, 81 knockouts. And finally, next is the great Battling Levinsky. He's the final one for today. Boxers from Pennsylvania, Battling Levinsky. Appreciate everybody for hanging in there with me. Thank you so much. Yeah, Battling Levinsky is next. We getting ready to get on up. We're going to find out what's next week. We got a few more to go. We in the P's. We went all the way through the alphabet. Boxing in the States. Remember when we started? Yeah. Mike Mazik, remember. I told y'all we started like, might have been spring 2024. Remember I kept telling y'all it's going to be all the way to 2025 before we finish. And now we're in 2025 and we still ain't finished. Final one, Battling Levinsky, boxers from Pennsylvania. Battling is from Philly again. Damn, most of them was from Philly. Okay. And Battling won the light heavyweight championship, had it from 1916 to 1920, 4 years. BoxRec lists Levinsky as the number 12th ranked light heavyweight of all time. Ring Magazine founder Nat Fleischer put him at number 9. Okay? And Battling won 196 fights, lost 55, had 38 draws, 30 knockouts. Right? He had more draws than he had knockouts. Damn. Fought back in that time, 20s, around in there. Okay. Okay, let's see what's next week, y'all, on the boxing in the States. Tell y'all in a minute. All I got to do is put in United States in alphabetical order. I love Google. Back in the old days, we get into an argument, had to wait weeks to find out who was right. Google, find out in minutes, fast as you can type. Who was right and who was wrong. Miss Cassie's always right. I hate it. I be looking on Google act like I can't get the thing in right because I know she's right. But next week is Rhode Island. Boxers from Rhode Island next week, everyone. Okay. But tomorrow, the Don King. The life and career of Don King. Okay. Oh Lord, I picked up the phone that I had the chat on and erased it. I gotta be able to see my chat. Somebody might say, look at your Cash App. I just dropped $1 million in there. Oh, boy. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, Bernard. Saab Muhammad, Bernard. Yeah, they're all from Philly, right, Azim? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I appreciate everybody for stopping by today. Make sure you stop by tomorrow for the life and career of Don King. Okay, we're gonna get ready to get up out of here. Just Do Boxing is next in his JBT streets. The raffle is tomorrow to see who wins the ticket to the fight. Okay, and the winner will have an entire week to get ready for it. And then if they win the ticket and wasn't coming to the meet and greet, they might as well go ahead and buy a ticket to the meet and greet then. Because now they're going to be up there, right? It Just Do Boxing is next. Tank Davidson, Bubba Dub, Teofimo disrespect. Teofimo always disrespecting somebody, man. Teofimo disrespect Crawford. Brian Norman talks Tank versus Roach disgrace. What the hell is wrong with Brian Norman? He had welterweight. What the hell he worrying about Tank and Roach for? These boxers all trip, man. This man fight way up at welterweight. He worrying about Tank and Lamont Roach. You got Boots problems or Jaleel Hackett problems, my brother. That's what you better be worrying about. Worry about how you duck Boots. Okay? That's coming up next on Just Do Boxing, though. Okay? Terrell Cameron, Al Booker, Define Arnie 1, Jarrell Hattie, Melanin Queen 27, Trump, Crush the Legend, Azim Shabazz, Mike Rim, Thomas Hill, Donnie Williams, Mike Mazik, Miss Cass. Appreciate everybody for stopping by today. Join me tomorrow. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you all that boxing history. Just Do Boxing straight ahead. This is Cass Sports. Appreciate y'all. Everybody have a great afternoon. And I will see y'all around those JBT streets.